Toparena! Hey, we are back with one more Raid Shadow Legends video. Tonight, we got someone here with us, the one and only HWZ. Hello brother, how are you?
I'm doing great, bro. Thank you for having me on the channel. I'm excited to learn some things from you and, share what I know as well. And maybe we can help a ton of people out who are looking to improve their accounts.
That's the goal, that's the goal. And this is the second part of the video me and HWZ are doing. The first half of the video is on his channel. Go there, drop some love, subscribe to him if you're not subscribed yet. Like the videos if you didn't like it yet, and check his content. You're gonna like it a lot. So we are here to talk about some special sets that you see around, and not many people figure out how strong they are and how powerful they can be to progress your account or to be more effective in many areas of the game using them and getting better results using them. So on his channel we already talk about protection, stone skin, supersonic and merciless. So we're going to talk about Slayer, Pharaoh and Pinpoint here. Let's start with Slayer. Do you have someone built in this set?
I actually do at the moment. I'm using a Cupidus in Hydra in Slayer at the moment.
Yeah, this set, it's a very good set, but it's a very hard set to build a champion in, because the amount of pieces we need to put up the good part of his effects are very high number of pieces. When you talk about a damage dealing set like Merciless that we talked about in your channel, 4 pieces do something good, 6 pieces do something excellent, 9 pieces do something incredible. From Slayer, we got something similar. The difference is he only starts to be good at 6 pieces. So it's a little bit harder to build someone in his layer, and is a little bit more niche for someone like Cupidus that has a very strong A1 AoE and another very strong AoE ability on the kit. He's really good because 2 AoE abilities is you're going to put 6 pieces and use this 30% ignore defense when using AoE skills. Really insane. I wish I had a Cupidus in 9 pieces of Slayer, because oh my god, look at these 9
Yeah,
pieces.
it works out very well.
Do you have the Venus too?
I do have Venus, yeah.
Oh, I envy you because I love this combo and I don't got on my own account.
Yeah, I'm running Venus and Hex at the moment in Curse set.
Oh, really good
With
combo.
Cupidus.
Really good
Yeah, and
combo.
I run them with Harima Mikage.
Oh.
Very reliable.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of damage going to be splashed through these debuffs you're gonna set on the Hydra, and the AoE damage they gonna put totally insane. This set is really interesting because it with the extra critical hit and extra critical damage we got from 2 pieces, what is not the hardest to get, you can get them from the rings and the banners and things like that, the accessories. You can complete some sets with that without having the entire bonus, but to get it to a point that we actually benefits a lot, that is the 6 pieces, it's hard. It's hard.
Hmm.
So I think if you search through your account, you're gonna have like some people built in supersonic, a lot built in stone skin, some people built in protection, some people built in other of these new sets, but the amount of champions you're gonna have in Slayer are a lot lower than you have on that other special sets, just because of the amount of pieces you need. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree. And because of how niche it is,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't want to, like, I remember when Thor first came out and people were looking at the kid and they're like, how is his A2 coded? Can we use, Slayer set on him? And obviously it's, not coded as an AoE, so Slayer is not,
Oh my
you know,
god. That was a
potentially the
deception.
best.
That was a
Go
deception.
ahead.
I really hope
Yeah,
it worked for the Slayer.
right. Because it would have been crazy because he already is incredible. So if it was coded as AoE, he would be, even more
D-
broken than he is
double the damage. Double the damage.
every time.
So, do
But
you,
that's it's niche when you're trying to get the most out of Slayer because how many champions are gonna have AoE A1 that you're using in Hydra? There are a good bit, but obviously they require specific setup or specific teams to actually be effective. Like we were saying with Cupidus, for example, without Venus, it's not really the same setup because you're not benefited from his counterattacks, being able to use that A1 every time one of the Hydra heads attacks because they're predominantly AoE. Most of them are doing AoE skills, so you benefit a lot from a champion like Cupidus in
yeah.
there, or even someone like even Necmo, who you probably aren't gonna put in 9 pieces of Slayer to get the most out of his AO1 because there are other sets where you can get the most out of his entire kit, but he has 2 AoEs as well. But
Yeah.
there's, not too many champions that are gonna have multiple AoEs that, this set could go on, but the ones that are amazing.
Exactly. There is a champion that I dream of putting in this set. Do do you have anything in mind?
Mm, mm. For PvE content,
Both. Both.
for
This
both PvE and PvP, 2 AoEs. Razovar?
no. Let me tell you. It could be Reservoir, but I wouldn't use him that much on PvP. It's the one and only Marius. This champion screams that he wants to be put in Slayer set. His A1 is a massive AoE ability. The other ability that he got is also an AoE that hits 3 times. Imagine hitting 3 times the double. It's like a 6 time hitting skills with the capacity of doing insane amount of damage on PvE content. Because if you do this double time the damage, bro, it's 60% of the damage of the boss. It's half
Mm-hmm.
of the boss HP if you're hitting for max damage. And on the PvP content, the possibilities are very, very, very good. But there is one thing. To build Marius in a good Slayer set, it's almost impossible right now because we didn't had that much pieces that we had access to it.
Yeah.
So either way, or you don't have that much many good pieces, or you can't sacrifice the stats to get him in 9 pieces, or the safety to have something like Stone Skin or something like this. For example, my Marius, my dream is to put him on Slayer, but I don't have a Stone Skin really good for him right now. I don't have the bottom pieces. Imagine that, and I won every single Hydra Clash.
Right.
But I don't have, so I have to use him on a broken set and a triple reaction. He's a red not as safe as I want as if I have it on Stone Skin. So I could afford to put him in Slayer if I had the 9 pieces. He would double the damage he does right now, for sure. So champions like that can have a insane damage output in a 9 piece of Slayer, even 6 pieces are red worth it, but 9 pieces is the real deal. If you can build Amaris in 3 pieces of reaction and 6 pieces of Slayer, is a red one of the craziest builds for him. But if you can put 9 pieces, and you have faith on your speed and something like that that you're gonna play, do it. You're gonna have massive amount of damage. There is actual one of the accounts that I drive that has a Maris build in 9 Slayer. it's a very fast
Yeah.
account, so I can almost guarantee that I'm going to play first. So
Mm.
to have him in 9 pieces made my Marius that wasn't so dangerous to become really dangerous because sometimes the A1 is enough to kill a champion. The A1 with
Yeah.
double damage is enough to kill a champion. So that's the power of this set. It's a very niche set, but you're gonna have the almost same benefits when you put in 6 pieces of having Savage and Cruel, and you're gonna have all these things here as extra: the critical hit, the critical damage, the speed, the 4 pieces effect with the 5% turn meat boost from the AoEs, and this extra critical hit again. So it's like you have a lot of sets attached to it, like critical damage and critical hit sets, and a little bit of speed, and the 4 pieces bonus. So if you can put him on 6 pieces of Slayer and 3 pieces of Reaction, is a really good build. If you can put him on 9 pieces of Slayer, have your faith on your speed. Do it. Do it. It's gonna be fun. Even if it's not fun on the PvP, it's gonna be fun on the PvE. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Is there anyone else used at the top end that would, particularly benefit from 9 pieces of Slayer, or is it just,
Uh,
is there no one?
that you can use and guarantee that he's going to be a insane peak. I only see Garou.
I was thinking Carol. Yeah.
Yeah, because Garou on the second form has all her skills, AoEs, and the
Hmm.
damage output of both her A1 and her A2 are really good. So you can have her doing insane amount of damages in Slayer set, but also is a champion that you need her to lose a little bit of HP to do something. And when you have 9 pieces of Slayer, I don't know if you're gonna survive when you're losing this HP.
Right.
The same with Marius. So sometimes it's hard to give up the stone skin on this kind of champion because you don't know if you're going to have your turn. And sometimes you prefer to have your turn instead of killing when you have your turn.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, Slayer very niche, like we were saying before, and it's more accessible because of the Forge Pass. I don't want to promote spending or things that you should be buying, but it is a lot more accessible than the other sets we talked about: Supersonic and Merciless and Stone Skin Protection. Well,
Yeah.
Stone Skin Protection very accessible, but Supersonic, Merciless definitely harder to
So
get.
let's continue. Yeah. Moving on, let's go to Pharaoh's set. One of the newest sets in the game, and a very interesting set. What do you think about it, bro?
I think it has a lot of potential, but I think that it came like Pinpoint came like 2 weeks, a week right after Pharaoh, and I feel like it kind of just outshined it so
Exactly.
much.
Exactly. Because they basically do the same thing. They add accuracy and speed as
Mm-hmm.
base ability, but Pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
does more of the stats boosting of the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
So you kind of gave up on Pharaoh and switched to Pinpoint the pieces that you had before. But
Yeah.
there is some specific applications of Pharaoh that only he can do. And for sure, the first one is the 9 pieces. If you're trying to deal the most amount of damage you can do on some content, it can be Sun Devil, it can be Shogun, it can be Spider, it can be Hydra. Anything that you want to do the highest damage you can do. If you have your debuffer and the highest amount of debuffer champion you can on Pharaoh, that's gonna bring you so much damage. Did you test it on a Hydra?
No, I didn't. No,
Didn't you had anyone
I
on
wanted
NPCs?
to.
Come
I
on.
wanted to, but it like the thing I was going back and forth about was I'm using a lot of protection and Hydra. I didn't really have 9 pieces of Feral first to well, decent pieces to
Yeah.
put on someone. And then I don't have a whole lot of crazy meta Hydra champions. So me weighing the options as far as like, okay, would I go 9 piece Feral on my CC champ over having curse set or provoke set? Because one thing I don't really use in a lot of my comps is an actual provoker. So I'm
Yeah.
actually using provoke set, and I want to say 2 out of my 3 comps I'm actually using a provoke set on champions like Michinaki actually have provoke set on because he gets a lot of opportunity to provoke.
A lot of
He does place
AoEs.
a lot of debuffs as well.
Yeah.
But just going back and forth with myself about, do I value Curse more, or is it worth me building a champion that places Hex for the other comp and then maybe try to get them into Pharaoh? That's kind of the issue I've been having. So I haven't been able to actually use it on anyone.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to use him when you already had this champion on your comp. For example, if you're using a Lydia and
Hmm.
you have room to put her in 9 pieces of Pharaoh, the damage output you're gonna do is really good, really good. The extra 10% or even higher if you put more debuffs on her, like the A3 sometimes on the
Hmm.
head and things like that. Uh, makes the difference. Makes the difference. Not as much as before because of the hydra nerves, and I don't even want to talk about it because I get angry. I don't think there is a single person in this game that like at these nerves,
Yeah.
changes, whatever you call it. Don't tell me you like it.
No, buddy. No.
Come on. Even before the hydra nerfs, this set was so impactful that I couldn't even describe because the world records was going to be settled by the amount of arrow sets you had on your account. And that's how impactful this set was 1 week before the nerf.
Yeah. And I was thinking about Lydia, right? So, because some people were using Lydia in 9 piece protection as well to
Yeah,
get that 10% from buffs. But it's even better with Pharaoh because if you were pre-nerf running the, turn meter boost, increase speed, decrease speed, that sort of thing in your teams, buffs are going to run out faster than debuffs. The debuffs will be up. So you're going to get your 10% more consistently across the
yeah,
board, right?
yeah. Now it's hard to calculate that because of the Hydra respawning heads are so fast and so sad on how you kill a head with one hit, with another hit, you bring her with back to life with the serpent buff that you can do damage. So you don't even need to cycle that fast through your abilities because you can't handle that that fast damage output anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
depending on the composition, you want to land it in the best way you can. For example, if you use the horse, he's a champion that is hard to do the maximum damage. Not everybody, even if you don't have crazy amount of gear, will be able to do the maximum amount of damage with the Marius in the AoE skills. So to have someone in 9 pieces of Pharaoh might help him to get his AoE skills to the maximum damage they can do, and that's very
Mm-hmm.
helpful for him to cycle to it doing the maximum damage. It's different for champions like Akrisa that's going to do maximum damage easily, or
Mm-hmm.
Gnat that does it on every hit. So that's the best usage from this set. Outside the broken pieces, this is a real good set for broken pieces. 1 pieces, 2 pieces, 3 pieces make you really good stats, really good stats. But as you said, pinpoint out China did.
Yeah.
But there is one more thing. This here, 4 pieces. That's the things most of the players doesn't notice. But these 4 pieces are really on the meta on the arena right now. Can you believe it?
Really?
I didn't expect to see immunity sets coming back to the game. But block debuffs with 4 pieces. Now that you've seen a lot of very fast compositions using bombs as the main source of damage, to have someone equipped with a stone skin and 4 pieces of pharaoh, or even a nuker equipped in savage and 4 pieces of pharaoh, might guarantee your safety against bomb champions that you couldn't have back there. So even these 4 pieces of pharaoh, that's one of the hardest sets in the game because you don't get them that often. Siege is only once every 15 days and you need to win to get
Right.
more pieces, so you might not have many. I don't have many.
Mm-hmm.
I lost half of my
Yeah,
pieces.
I don't either.
I really lost half of my pieces. I let them on the store and I start farming and I forgot and I deleted my pieces.
Oh man. So that's interesting though that it's being used in the meta now, because you would think that Pinpoint kind of almost fulfills the same role, but it doesn't block bombs,
Don't.
which
That's the difference between them. You won't
yeah.
have the same speed with Pharaoh that you got on Pinpoint. You won't have the immunity somehow against polymorph, but you're gonna get the immunity against bombs and some other buffs like Infibo and
Hmm.
things like that. And that's an interesting way. But it's not every champion that is easy to do that build. You need to have a very specific champion. So, for example, if you use it on a nuker, you might need a nuker that has some survivability mechanic like Rotos, Nice, Siegfried, Leorius. Champions that can survive some amount of damage without dying. So you can
Hmm.
give up the Stone Skin and things like that and put the Savage and the Pharaoh. Or the Lethal and the Pharaoh. That's a very hard build to do, but is a useful build. And we're going to start to see it more.
Yeah. Wow. Because you would think that it's not that effective, considering like 80-90% of the mythicals are able to like strip or decrease the duration of buffs.
Yeah.
So wow, I now I'm interested. I wanna see this,
Yeah,
and
there,
see how
there,
people
there
are
is
using it.
3 or 2 guys out in the top of livearena that you usually use Commodus or Guinea Shark to win some of battles with speed and bombs. And
Hmm.
they are having their Nice or their Siegfried with this set and Savage. And you think you won the battle, but this champion survives. And this champion surviving alone is like a whole team. And he
Yeah.
wins the battle because you don't have to how to counter this only champion surviving. And that's just because of this set. Just just
Hmm.
because of this set. Who could imagine uh, more smart plays like that is going to proc if we keep seeing the bomb meta out there. It's a niche usage just brought by the meta, and it's a very powerful use of the set. Uh,
Yeah. But it needs to be a champion that could withstand and then allow you to get back into the fight. So I think Siegfried and Nice, like
yeah,
perfect applications.
yeah, there are
I was
not
even
many.
thinking, like you said, Leorius, of course, but if he doesn't wipe the whole team after, then he's gonna have a tough time. But Siegfried could bring your whole team back. Nice could bring your team back. Even someone like Odin, if he's built a certain way, could start to revive people if he doesn't die.
Exactly, exactly. So this set, even if we didn't thought that the 4 pieces could be something useful, it might be something useful because of the meta right now, the meta we are having right
Hmm.
now. So these champions with these unique skills that make them survive with something, you can afford to use Pharaoh set and Savage set to do damage and to still deliver some really really strong combos with them. Rotos is the
Hmm.
champion that might most of the players might have. that fits this role. Because with his passive, he can endure some damage. And with Savage and Pharaoh, he still can do insane amount of damages. Insane. And he might win a battle solo. Even be as destructive as any other champion. So he's a viable option to have in Pharaoh and Savage if you have this trouble on arena. Oh, I don't have speed to compete with bomb teams. I don't have a way to compete with the speed boost and bomb. What am I going to do? Maybe you have your answer now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely have my answer now. Unless usually I'm pretty much only picking Nishok in live arena at the moment. I'm not really picking too many other DPS. Every now and then I'll use like my Rotos or Harima or someone else. I don't have any mythical DPS at the moment, so it's pretty much just all bombs for me. I'm also facing a ton of people who also trying to use bombs, so I try to get the pick before them. But you're definitely right. It is the meta, and we could see a lot more people using the Pharaoh for sure. I
Yeah.
don't think the bomb meta has been going strong for a very long time, and even there was like an in between stage where I guess some people kind of forgot about it, but or just weren't able to get the best application of it because they were having hard times against like Marishka teams. They didn't know
Yeah.
all of the strategies to strip the block damage. Irresistible, what's his name? That irresistible strip guy that some people at the top end were using the undead board.
Katon?
But yes. But like bombs have been the meta for a long time. Even when we slowed down and then sped back up, bombs still the fastest way to
Yeah.
to get a fight done.
And we are leaving the meta. We are leaving the bomb meta because of the next set that we're going to talk about. Set changed the entire game, the entire meta on the arena. And we're talking about the one and only Pinpoint. Oh my god. I can't even describe how good this set is and how important this set is. What are your thoughts, brother?
I think that this set is so powerful, man. Even two pieces, pretty much changed my account at the start. And like I was on the fence about farming the event dungeon. I wasn't gonna farm a ton of it at first because like the drop rates for all the other sets just seem so high. Like I'm getting all of this accuracy gear, all of this crit rate gear. But even two pieces of Pinpoint, I started putting it on pretty much every champion on my account, just two accessories, speeding up my entire account. And then when you get to like 4-piece intercept stacks, it's making a huge difference. I'm bringing a lot of CC champions back into the fold in Arena. It's making a lot of things possible for my account in Arena.
Exactly.
So, a crazy set.
Exactly. When Pinpoint came out, we are like, okay, we have to farm these, but we don't want. But as soon as we realized that two pieces was already enough to make a huge upgrade on your account, like two pieces of this set that you can put on the ring and on the amulet, it's like having a speed set on your account. 2% difference only. So that's massive. That brought the speed levels to a whole entire level. When you had 380 and you thought you were fast, now 400 and something, and you thought that's unbelievable. Only two pieces made that, and we're having the opportunity of putting 4 pieces and getting the champion in a intercept buff that may prevent him to be polymorphed or CC'd for any source of CC. It can be a sleep, it can be a stun, it can be a freeze, or it can be a petrify or something like that. That brought half of the champions that were unbelievable out of meta because of the polymorph out there back to the meta. Even some champions that were forgot for like 3 years, like Madame Saris, that was sitting on the vault and she was a very powerful champion. You can put her in Pinpoint and have fun with her again because she has a great kit, she's usable, she can do something really interesting. And
Yeah.
not only defensive way, like offensive way, the amount of champions, for example, the bomb champions that when Commodus, the bomb mythical that's based on HP was launched, we were like, okay, he's a useless champion. Nobody wants an HP bomb champion that will get polymorphed every time he tries to put the bombs. And 1 week later,
Mm-hmm.
we have this set, and Commodus becomes the strongest champion on the arena. And how fast one single set can change the entire game, it's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
definitely this set done it to the game. This set is like every time I do an account takeover, and the guy was like, "Oh, should I farm the event dungeon?" I was like, "Put all your energy into it. Don't." But we are having 3 times salvage. Don't forget the salvage. It's gonna be there later. Do farm the event dungeon. Be your dean, be your daddy for this entire month. You're gonna dream with Odin. You're gonna wake up with Odin on your mind. Farm this pinpoint, and you won't regret it. And whoever did it won't regret it, because this set is
I
everything.
agree.
And I saw
Yeah,
your
like you
account.
said, it's like having a set come into the game and make such an impact. It's like, when Stone Skin came into the game, it made a crazy impact. It completely changed the arena. And that was like that period where things started to slow down because you didn't want to be using all of your DPS into Stone Skin, right? We didn't want to get sheep trying to deal with Stone Skin. So Pinpoint coming into the game just reminds me of that time to where like the meta has once again shifted. Now we can bring all of our CC champions back into the fold, and now Arena, looks a lot different than it did
You have a lot
4 or 5 months ago.
more possibilities. You have a lot more possibilities than that you had 4 months ago. For example,
Hmm.
if these bomb champions were introduced 4 months ago, he would be in the vault for 4 months. But 1 week after he was launched, we had Pinpoint. This champion, like Commodus, became the meta. A champion that was basically a PvE champion like Guinea Shark became a PvP meta. And not only that, Odin, for example, he's an amazing champion. But half of his kit would be useless if it wasn't for Pinpoint. Because
Yep.
every time you try to strip and put the stun and decrease defense, you're gonna get polymorphed. You wouldn't risk that to get angry every battle getting polymorphed, like 9% of the time. So Pinpoint make it possible, make it viable. This champion is incredible. Everybody know he's incredible, and he's more incredible because of this set. So four
Hmm.
pieces, 6 pieces, or 9 pieces, all are incredible. All of them are incredible. But most of the champions that use this set are going to use 4 pieces.
Yep. Four
Uh,
pieces is enough.
yeah. Do you have anybody on 6 or 9?
No, not at the moment. No, I don't.
Yeah,
Just because like Pinpoint with Stone Skin, like I'm using that where I can. So obviously like Odin,
yeah.
other champions that CC, trying to get them at 4 pieces of Pinpoint and 4 pieces of Stone Skin has been the primary goal. I don't have anyone in more than 5 pieces. I've been using five
Exactly.
pieces just to get that extra 10%, so I'll have 20% speed boost, but no more than that.
Exactly the same for me. But mostly because I don't have crazy pinpoint gear, I wasn't lucky. Even I farmed a lot. But I wasn't as lucky as you that got 2 quadros. Even if it's 5-star pieces, I don't even got on a a triple row and things like that. But if I had 9 pieces, some champions I might use it. Like Odin is one of viable champions with 9 pieces. You can use the
Hmm.
intercept. Like sometimes I don't know if you're very unlucky as me, but I use I use Odin in Stone Skin and Pinpoint, and I use his A2 and I still get cheaped because I procced more than one polymorph in the single skill.
Yeah.
But there are some champions in the meta that you really want to have him in 9 if you can. And this is one of them. Gizmak. I know it's a mythical, not many players will have him. But if you have him and have the opportunity to put 9 pieces on him, is a champion that you should. Because this HP burn is going to land so many times that he's going to be polymorphed. One stack of intercept is not enough. And on the second form, before hitting, he will also put another debuff. So the amount of times that you're using this champion and you lose the battle because he's polymorphed, because he put like 80 CCs all the time, even more, it's incredible. So this is one of the few champions that if I had the opportunity to put in 9 pieces of Pinpoint.
Pinpoint.
Yeah, getting 4 intercepts stacks for him. This is an incredible champion to have.
Well, a great champion, Gurgoth, for sure, because, you know, if you build a comp properly, he's going to be able to place decreased defense, so he doesn't really need ignore defense. So he's a great DPS champion to put it in, guys. So you don't necessarily just need to put this on CC champions. DPS that also has valuable CC for you for PvP content could also go and Pinpoint. Now, it's niche, obviously, because it needs to be a champion that doesn't require ignore defense because they're placing decreased defense, or you have someone in your comp placing decreased defense, which is a bit more risky in live arena because you're obviously going to need whoever is placing the decreased defense to be there. So say you pick a champion that doesn't place decreased defense, but they pick, you know, but they do something else valuable, you're still going to need that. So a champion like Gurgar, obviously, or how you just showed Gizmak, who also places decreased defense,
exactly,
are pretty good candidates for it.
Yeah, and like you said, mine is on Pinpoint and Stone Skin. Just because of that, his kit promotes him to have this kind of setup on his sets. So you can have a Pinpoint to not be polymorphed by his debuffs, and Stone Skin to guarantee some survivability, because you don't actually need the Savage, so he can land the decreased defense and hit very hard with that. That's a perfect example of Pinpoint and Stone Skin that's really on the meta, and it's a really cool champion to play with.
Yeah. And there's not too many others, right, that will place it and then, you know, attack that you will want to use in arena. Well, not on my account.
Yeah.
For that matter. There's not too many that are going to place, you know, AoE decreased defense that are DPS champions that we really, really want to use.
Yeah, there is one new champion that's very interesting. I don't got him, but I really wanted. I got. That's Vulcanus.
Oh yeah, he's nice.
This champion on Pinpoint is almost a must-have because of his passive. This champion is so incredible, so incredible. He doesn't even need to have a turn. You just need him to be there, and your opponent's going to make their moves, and he's going to proc his passive, and the passive is going to kill your opponent. You know, so this champion in Pinpoint, so he's not polymorphed, Pinpoint and Stone Skin. So he's not polymorphed at the first time he puts the HP burn, and you get the chance to proc the HP burn many times. It's incredible build for him. Incredible.
Yeah.
And this champion, oh my god, I wish I had him.
Yeah, I've been playing with him a bit. I pulled him on one of the accounts that I'm driving, so I've been like just playing around with him, but he definitely is fun, and you would need Pinpoint for sure in arena because I get sheeped constantly using him. But that HP burn is constantly rolling, constantly.
Yeah. I lost a battle even without having a turn, just because I procced this so much, and my champions were squishy, and I died before removing the Stone Skin from my opponent. I had my turn, I done my actions, But I wasn't able to remove the stone skin, and I died because of fire. He burned me from the inside.
Yeah,
And
HP burn is powerful, man.
yeah, right in this method that you see a lot of stone skin and things like that, and this auto proc HP burn that you put it and you proc it at the same time. It's insanely powerful, insane, and it's a AoE damage. We cannot forget is an AoE damage. So you have 4 sources of damage in your enemy team. That is the enemy team itself. So
Yeah, 'cause they all can activate it.
yeah, this champion would be so much RNG based pick if it wasn't for Pinpoint. We basically covered the last 3 sets here that are very impactful, but Slayer and Pharaoh are a lot more niche than the Supersonic and the Merciless, and for sure the Protection and Stone Skin. The Pinpoint, for the au contrary, it's a set with 2 pieces that can change your entire... You can have your entire account with at least 2 pieces of Pinpoint, and you're gonna not regret it. That's how amazing this set is. That's how gaming changing this set is. I think he's one of the most important sets in the game right now, and the amount of he makes it possible, it's unbelievable. So guys, that was it about these sets, these special sets. Some of them really niche, some of them very, 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 very powerful that you might have and you must have. And do you have anything to add up?
Yeah, guys, let us know, how you're using these sets, champions that you're using these sets on, and the application where you're using them for sure. And, thank you for having me on the channel, bro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for making that possible, to have the idea of this video. And as always, guys, if you didn't subscribe to HWZ yet, go there on his channel, share some love with him, like his video, like his content. You're gonna enjoy it. And always remember, it's all about arena.
It's all about arena.